research projects. He has published numerous papers in reputed journals. And can you? Sorry, there is some disturbance from my end. I don't know, echo is coming. Sir has worked for many sponsored research projects like exploration of sustainable manufacturing in Indian manufacturing industries and development of controller for RM50 501 for institute sponsored projects. And sir has worked for many other reputed sponsored research projects. And he has also have many numerous publications in reputed journals. Sir, we are very honored and privileged to have you, sir. Thank you for your.
Yes, thank you, thank you, Dr. Deepa, for introducing, and I thank the organizer of CBIT Hyderabad for giving me opportunity to present in front of all the learned faculty members, scholars, and professors across different organizations. So, Ms. Deepa, should I start?
Yes, sir, you can start.
Okay. So,
in the main, 1 second, sir. There is some background disturbance and some old Varghese, I think. Can you please mute your audio?
My audio?
Not yours, sir, not yours. Varghese, and some all Varghese.
Okay.
One of the participants, can you please mute your audio?
I request all the participants to mute their audio. It will help us to make smoothen class.
So now you can, sir.
Yeah. So thank you all. And as you can see, this is the second day of 5-day online FDP on augmented and virtual reality. So augmented reality, virtual reality is now evolving in education, and there are two kinds of things in education. First is how to use AR VR, which is the objective of this course, this 5-day online FTP. So I took actually one more important aspect of AR VR. Since we are all moved to online teaching since last 6 months, and as we know, this kind of teaching is really challenging for students, and because of there are network issues, there are technological issues on that. So ultimately, objective of any kind of education is how to improve learning outcome. So if you are in class, so you're directly interacting with them, seeing their faces and asking and giving them instant feedback, which you are doing in online now as well. So here I have the main theme of this is classroom integration of technology, which is actually in this week, whole week you will be giving the different kinds of hands-on experiments on that. So today I will be presenting one case study of AR and VR in education, how to improve your learning outcome. So that is the foremost objective of any individual or any faculty member. And I hope by seeing this or by using this particular case study, you may able to enhance learning outcome. So I am from MNIT Jaipur, as Dr. Deepa has already highlighted, and then MNIT Jaipur is one of the premier NIT in India, and then we have got a largest academic complex in Asia, and this academic and research highlights already has been given, and I have more than 20 years experience. They are board member, editorial member, and reviewer of many journals. So let us directly go to presentation and like what are we really innovating? Innovation in education. So all must be excited to see yes, AR, VR, we are going to learn. That's true. And how what is the actually role of AR, VR in education system? That is one thing, and there are disruptive education technology which is actually going to change higher education learning. So I will be handling a one learning central move model, which will be giving the highlights of learning outcome, and that case study was examining their knowledge retention when using a AR VR application. So knowledge retention is one thing. There are a number of applications you can do. So I have taken the very simplistic case study, and ultimately our curriculum is actually now evolving. So our curriculum has to improve, evolve as per AR VR applications. So obviously you are creating your own AR VR application for the most one of the most challenging tasks. It's not the taking classes, but how to actually take labs. So so for that, Government of India has actually initiated a one program that's, or I can say project that is called virtual lab. So virtuallab.in. So you may go to that and you may also contribute. While after doing this course, you may actually able to develop one of this course for one of this lab for, or you can start your lab. It may take 3 months. So that also can be possible. So you have to take this. So we need to see the future of education system is what exactly. Now, digital disruption is one thing which has come in education, and obviously AI-based learning is actually now imparted in the education system. Now, question is coming in since last 6 months. After giving or imparting a online education, do students really need 4 year residential experiences? So because you can see there are a lot, we have been seeing there are a lot of more courses are available on net. It's by Coursera or where you can see different university across continents are actually giving the different courses. In fact, you can see you can actually do the post graduation also online from some of the universities. That also coming in. Now you can see in India also IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee, they have started online courses, 3 year courses. So it may come for 4 years also. So it's a challenging task for us. So ultimately there would be some hybrid models. So we have to have our competence in both way, so that hybrid model of education can be imparted or it can be exploited in more productive way. So it's about not basically technology has to be put in place to accommodate teachers virtually. So question is, what are some psychological or cognitive mechanism? Question is, what are the psychological and cognitive mechanism? What are the potential difference between AR and VR in education context? Is AR and VR is more effective tool? And how to best implement? That should be our objective. As a faculty member, our objective is how to best implement these emerging technologies in education settings. So ultimately, you need to take care of this thing.
Sir, sorry to disturb you, sir. There is some light background noise, sir.
One second, just hold on. I will
Yeah.
Try to stop fan. Just hold on.
Yeah, some kind of water flowing, something.
I hope now it's okay.
Uh, mm, yeah, okay, sir.
So, are we really innovative innovations? It's merely changing this paper book into e-book is suffice, or Blackboard into online teaching, or MOOC is suffice enough. So this is our ideal classroom, or it may convert into this. So which is currently. So we need to take care of these things. We need to answer these questions. So like there are four things which has to be taken care. One is virtual reality, and there are a number of collaborative platforms. I will just giving you some highlights. So there is AI powered language, that is Duolingo, is one of the most downloaded education app globally. You may also download that app. Now, can you see this is it this real picture? So you can directly see the headlines. This is a virtual conference. This conference happened 2 months ago in Spain, I could say. It is looking like actual. You can see this is a lobby of, you can say, hotel or where people might sit. So you cannot believe you're attending a conference virtually. Just see this. Here somebody is presenting and your sitting is here. There are sofas are there, and you can also move as from one place to another place as really conference is actually happening in different areas. You can sit here as other people also can be there. So you cannot believe how actually things as is moving. So it is only possible through AR and VR only. So my simple submission is if it is conference has evolved, so maybe after I can say okay, next 1 or 2 years maybe people might attend this type of conferences, and in future also this can be regular features. Now, as we are talking about classroom integration of technology, so there are a number of technologies, number of e-learning. So this is a very famous curve. It's this curve is called hyperloop. Now you can see there are two things. One is time, and another is expectations. You can see this is the expectation. Now you can divide this into 5 mode. One, that is innovation trigger. Two, that is peak of inflated expectation. Third, disillusionment. Then slope of enlightenment and plateau of productivity. What is the meaning of this? Let us understand this. So this is X horizontal is time, Y is expectation. So if anybody wanted to invest anything, so they used to see these kind of curve first. Now let us see this. So that is a blockchain. So blockchain is innovation trigger. So we are talking about blockchain, but you can see now it has really started and it is now started. Expectation are now slowly increasing. Now, if you're talking about simulation, now it is a plateau of productivity. Now it is in productivity. Now simulation is going on bigger way. Like I just told government India has started a virtual lab, so you can do the virtual lab, so you can simulate various experiments. Mobile learning is also in productivity. Now you can see these are massive online open course. So you can see these are the people are not having a. You can say they have got their expectation has gone down for that, or their experiences through various performance integration is increasing. So learning analytics, like based on data, is increasing. Virtual reality is second. That is peak of inflated expectation. It has come in second. Now people are talking more about AR and VR. So their learning experience is improving. AI is on top of expectation. So that is the hyper curve, and this curve is showing how industry is moving, and which is actually is innovation trigger, which is our in peak of inflated expectation, which is in productivity stage. Now, if you talk about is really technology shaping future of education, now I can say interactive video is going to be important in education. That's 98% people say about this. Now, we are using it in classroom where I saying there are 40 lectures and which has to be divided into 5 different modules. But the self-paced curriculum is now going to come. The personalization of education is one of the key features which people are expecting. Now, are you people are interested in AR, VR, and 360-degree video? So these are the things which are really so challenging tasks, self-paced curriculum. So people, you may have your own view how this is possible if there a time has given, certain time is given to complete course, then what does it mean? So it's a peer instruction is interactive learning strategy. So the crux of this presentation is how to promote a student or their conceptual reasoning. It should be my objective or it should be your objective as well. It should be our objective. How to improve conceptual reasoning, how to improve interactive learning. So their learning outcome has to be so. It is. I took the one out application that is smartphone based AR VR technologies, where a small group has given a smartphone based AR VR experience. So I will be explaining in what exactly that. And we would like to know, is AR or VR is really improving their students' outcome? Our objective, it's not so key. We have to integrate technology for sake of integration, for sake of innovation. Ultimately, a learning outcome has to be. We need to take care of these things, which is learning outcome. How to improve this? So that has to be as a faculty, our objective is this. So whether VR provides user a feeling of being psychologically immersed, and AR allows interact with. So I am just giving you small highlights. So VR provides feeling of being psychologically immersed in virtual environment, and AR allows user to interact with both virtual as well as object in real world. Now, as a faculty member, our objective is not only to implement this in classroom, but also as well as how to improve, we need to know the number of publications. You can say number of publication is improving. So it's 89 to 18. You can see the number of publication is increasing. So obviously people are having a more and more knowledge, analysis, implementation in this. So ideally, I'm just summarizing this. This you must be knowing it. What is actually VR is? It's a fully artificial environment. You can see this is a one environment where you have actually having a your device where you can say you are fully immersed in this environment. It's a fully artificial environment. But in AR, virtual object actually overlaid in real world environment. So real world enhanced digital objects. So that is one thing. So you have seen the various game, जो I think Pokemon, their number of games has come. Now people are not only talking about AR, VR, but they are still talking about MR also. So virtual environment with real world. So interaction should be both in real as well as virtual world. So virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, it's a hype. So how VR is and how these are different from other media. So if you talk about dynamic control of viewpoint, so it has got a dynamic control. It has got a surrounding experience, which other media doesn't have. So if you talk about mobile VR, it's having a 20% application. So head-mounted device, which people are actually wearing it's 76. So more than 70% application by high-end HMDs. So VR application is enhancing, and you can see not specified. So their number one is high end, and number two is mobile VR. So it's increasing. Now, if we talk about head-mounted device market, this is expecting 25 billion by 2022, and growth rate is actually is 40%. It's a report of global augmented reality. And if you talk about AI in education, this will be 6 billion by 2025. 98% people are thinking interacting video is going to be important. Now, if you are running any video, now if anybody has attended courses in Coursera, so you can see there are videos going on, and suddenly the video has been paused and some question is being asked. So unless until you are not answered that question, that video will not move ahead. So that's what is interactive video is now. That is slowly people are imparting this interactive video. So ultimately, the question is design of a VR application in education purpose should consider cognitive demands. Their learning, knowledge retention, their learning outcome, that has to be actually more crux in that. So if we talk about AR tools, so they are 3DVS, G-Space, WorldBrush, there are a number of tools. So you people may be having experience of using either of these tools in this week. There are a number of apps. So you may be using this app, Google Lens. So you are in front of any object, if you are putting that information pertain to that object is coming. So this is the one app which you are using is. There are number of expedition app also your people are using. So if you wanted to create your own, so you can download SDK, you can download that 3D here using 3D model. So there are a number of applications. You can say Pokemon Go, Snapchat lenses. You can say Snapchat there. There are a number of application of Snapchats also. So now, if you talk about virtual reality headset shipment, this somehow relatively old data, but this Google Daydream, Oculus, this is very one of the famous device from Samsung, HTC, PlayStation VR, Samsung Gear. You can see the different companies has got a different numbers, and you can see they are a significant chunk in the market. Now I will just give you next 10 minutes. Actually, I will give you the overview of number of VR devices and how you can choose those devices for your own application, cost wise, their performance wise, or you can. So let's try to see those things. So if you're talking about a mobile, so equipment are head mounted device, phone. So cost is less than $500. So if you wanted to develop anything, so you require a PC laptop. And if you talk about game console, so you have to have a head mounted device, camera, controller, game console. So it cost will be $1,000. So you want PC laptop or console development kit. Or if you talk about high-ended HMDs, then high-end PC laptop, their cost is more than $1,000. Development is included. So if you choose any VR device, it has to be in three basic thing you need to see: their resolution, their frame rate, and weight. So if you choose any VR device, so you need to choose these things very carefully. Apart from cost, you need to devise that what is your application actually. Now, their Samsung Gear has refresh rate, their resolution, their weight is there. PlayStation has got a refresh rate, resolution, weight is here. And high end, there are two companies, Oculus and HTC. Their refresh rate is there. So, by seeing in a snapshot, you can actually see, yes, these are the weight, these are the refresh rate. Their cost is also being given. So, this is first question is for all of you. I will give you 3 minutes. If you just wanted to experience some application on VR, you just need to buy a mobile phone and a VR case. But if you wanted to also do VR development, you will need. So please write your answer in Google chat or just write your answer. So please write your answer. Hey, high end. So Avik has given answer desktop. C, VR controller, high end. C. So most of the answer are C and A. Reshu Vanchal, desktop laptop. Pratibha Lanka, Rupa. So can we pause for some seconds? So what exactly? You just need to buy a mobile phone, VR case, but you want also to VR development. So you will need You wanted to experience some application VR. So you only want this desktop and laptop machine. So this is the C answer. Now, I am just giving you the snapshot of what just now I have told. About mobile VR, about console VR, and about high. So their cost, I just told, the tracking, their name, their resolution. What else you want? Refresh rate. What else you want? You want cost, their weight. So their weight and their controller. So their weight is also here, and their controller is also here. So if you are using any kind of device, so you require cost, resolution, refresh rate, weight, controller. So you need to improve your understanding for choosing your VR device. So there are a number of video editors, as I told you, for if you wanted to improve interactive video, and or you wanted to share an interactive video with your learners. So there are a number of videos. Camtasia, Jackson, Mozilla. There are a number of videos in that. There are a number of apps, Android app, Unity, iOS. There are a number of environment where you can actually work in that. For making a 360 video, Expedition app, Video Stitch, iMovie, DaVinci's Dissolve. Now, ultimately, there are three things is important for all of us. First is your course content. Your course content has to be a presentable format. Second is how you're going to engage your learner. So there are a number of learner engagement tools. There are like Moodle, Google Classroom, Microsoft Team. So these are the learner engagement. So after delivering a course content or engaging them live interacting, you need to assess them as well. So you may be using a number of tools, as I told you, Microsoft Team, Google Meet. Google Meet is a video editing, but Google Classroom or Moodle, or there are a number of other tools also you may be using as defined by your organization or as it is available to you. So for us, that is important is content, engagement of learner, and their assessment. So we are using technology in all of these three. So you need to identify these tools. So if we talk about fourth thing, there are a number of tools which you are taking your presentation in outline. Like I am taking this PPT in front of you while using a Google Meet. So Google Meet is helping me to taking my lecture online, but Google Classroom is a learning management system where I can actually post some kind of my notes with students. I can assess them. Same with Moodle. So learning management system is different and tools to take online. Now, there are two questions to you. If you need to answer, how do you ensure interaction with the student online? How do you say your student is online? And how do you assess your students online? As I told you, there are a number of assessment tools are there. Can you write in your chat box question number answer of 3 and 4? Can you write answer in your chat box answer of 3 and 4? So by polling Google form, yes, by putting some question or assignment. So there are 60 students. So how do you ensure all 60s in class? So like feedback form, quizzes. So likewise, I have downloaded it in like Google Meet. How do you check your students' attendance? So I have actually has got an attendance tool with me. So I've added one attendance tool that is Meet Attendance, where actually I can download it anytime. For assessment, please answer the question ki how do you assess student? So quiz is one thing, but which platform you may be using? MS Team is one, okay. Quick poll, quizzes. So are anybody is using a Moodle? Kahoot, Google Classroom, Edmondo. So try to use so Flipkart, Google Classroom, and Canvas. That's yeah, Canvas is also one of the learning management system. So if you talk about a learning management system, Canvas, Moodle, Google Classroom, MS, Microsoft Teams. So there are a number of learning management systems there. So so there are these things which has to be there. So this is a very famous massive online open course model. Please remember, for if you are taking any class or taking any topic, so there are 4 things which are very important. First is learning dialogues. So जो भी आप whatever take you take classes, so in this model they say learning dialogues. So इसका short form है LED, where you're sharing some content online. So this is reflection spot. Likewise, as I told you, some video is going on, suddenly that video is stopped, and then some question is being asked. Same thing I did in this. I asked two, 3 questions. So I am asking you to giving your reflections. So that has to be there in first thing, learning dialogues. Second is learning by doing. So you need to share some respect to your topic. You need to share some activities with your students, and you can have some customized feedback from them. And then that learning by doing is LBD. And third is learning extension trajectory, that is LXT. So you have to have some quizzes for your topic. So what they actually has understood. And last minute, there has to be learning experience interaction, LXI. There should be some focus question. Now, here, there something is there, very important thing, which is now, it's not reflecting. What is peer instruction? What is happening? What was happening earlier? When you're taking the live classes, then you throw some question, you ask students to answer. So there are 4 or 5 students ask, they raise their hand, and you say ask, you say answer, then they used to answer it. Another kind of learning is ask them. So what answer they have given is, their answer may be right or wrong. So you can ask now give answer after interacting with your group. So that is what peer interaction is. So they can interact with amongst peer group, that is 4 or 5 students, and then they said this is my answer is. So once having a discussion and interaction with your there, then only they are answering that. That is what learning experience interaction. And there should be some quizzes should be there to understood that. So that is a very famous model, learning dialects, LED, learning by doing. So for any module, you should have some kind of flavor of all four: learning dialects, learning by doing, learning extension trajectory, and learning experience interaction. So their content has to be analytical or problem solving, or it can be a communication collaboration with their soft skill, or maybe you can you can actually check their procedural knowledge, their declarative knowledge, or their behavior in that. So ultimately, these things will not only give realistic surroundings, these tools AR, VR, but you can actually see how they're interacting. That is why Zoom has got a feature. You can actually make rooms also. Now you can say 10 students has in one room, and they can have discussion of that question among themselves, and then they can answer that. Now that is the second part of my. Now, if you have any question, let me know, because I have just now moved to next 30 minutes. I will be actually giving this case study, presenting this case study amongst you. So I'm just stopping for some time for 1 minute. If you have any question, let me know. So because now in the last LXT once more. So somebody is asking LXT once more. Okay. So that is one more. I just see. I will just say once again, if anybody has got any question, how we apply AR in computer science. Yeah, obviously. So these are the something which. Let us take this case study. Obviously, computer science is a field where AR and VR is people are imparting more. As you know, Snapchat is one of the famous application. Pokemon Go is another famous application. So same way your subjects also. So which I am talking about this model, you can very well do in this year class. So actually you can make a reflection spot in your video. I can give you some tools how to make this reflection spot. Now you are sharing your PPT slides. Some people are adding a audio also with them. Some people are sharing a complete recording of that. But the reflection spot is something which actually gives student to think during lecture. Now somebody is asked what is LXT? That is learning extension trajectory. Means you're not only sharing some resources regarding that topic, but you are asking a quizzes. So the topic which correspond to your theoretical background, not only that theoretical background, but there should be some additional resources has to be shared with them. So they should have 2-3 different resources. So that is the objective that. I hope I may give you the answer. So I think anybody has. So this is a model which everybody need to be followed in their teaching actually. So let us go with the case study. This is a exploratory study has been done for examining just see this. This is examining knowledge retention when using AR and VR applications. So purpose of this study was to address the gap in literature by AR VR technologies, impact on learning outcome. So impact on learning outcome. So ultimately AR and VR, both technology has been compared and their knowledge retention has been shared. Whether AR is giving a more knowledge retention by using AR in your tool, it gives more application, more knowledge retention, or VR gives. So their comparison has been there. So there are some psychological theoretical mechanism. So impact is basically their learning outcome, education technologies and learning outcome. So in that, there are two hypotheses actually has been taken care. The first hypothesis is individual who experience a VR environment compared to an AR environment with the same digital content will report higher level of attention, presence, enjoyment. Means if you are giving a VR compared to AR, so VR gives higher level of attention, enjoyment, their presence. Second is individual who consumes visual and auditory content in VR compared to AR will exhibit greater retention of visual information, but lower retention is auditory information. So these are two hypotheses. Let us go ahead. That is first one means VR, if we compare VR with AR, so higher level of attention, presence and enjoyment. That is first hypothesis. Second is VR compared to AR will exhibit greater retention of visual, whatever you are seeing. So you are having a more retention. You may able to retain more whatever you are seeing, but whatever you are hearing has got a lower retention. That is second hypothesis. That is the hypothesis you have made. Now, third hypothesis is differences between VR and AR for visual and auditory learning outcome will be mediated by level of presence such that more presence and enhanced visual outcome hinder auditory outcome. Let us understand this. So auditory means whatever you are hearing. So it will not only enhance visual outcome and their auditory outcome will hinder actually. So these are three hypotheses. Let us go ahead with once again. The first hypothesis is VR compared to AR for same digital content will report higher level presence, enjoyment. And if you're giving any topic, so that topic has got some pictures, some audio content as well. So VR compared to AR will give more retention to visual, but lower retention to audio. That is the second hypothesis you have made. So there are certain methods to make this hypothesis with help of manufacturer, with help of learner, with help of user. and they have that hypothesis not only made in that such way, but it has to has a some certain background. Second is difference between VR and AR in not only visual but auditory learning outcome also. So more presence, you will feel more presence once you see the visual, not auditor. Now let us understood about procedure. There are 110, 109 participants. So in these 109, out of these 109 participants, so 57 participant AR and 52 exposed to AR, VR. And this was the interdepartmental research project at one of the large university in US. So how actually happened? So before, there is some pre-test questionnaire for measuring their knowledge about that topic. So there is some common topic has been shared with these 57 plus 52 students participant to gauge their knowledge before taking any topic. So let us understand what knowledge they are possessing. Now, after that, participant instructed to how to use VR and AR application. So they just explained this is a way you can use AR and VR applications for this particular task. And then participant has given a 5 minutes in their mobile app, they given a 5 minutes of some video, which has not only has got a visual information, but has as well as audio information. So visual and audio, both information was there. Then participant answered a post. So पहले pre-test questionnaire हुआ था. Now post-test questionnaire was there. And then some question is asked, some test has been taken about psychological and cognitive feelings of their special presence and new set of knowledge questions. So let us revisit once again this procedure is. So first there are 109 participants, there are 57 participants exposed to AR and 52 exposed to VR. And that was an interdepartmental research project from one of the largest universities in the US, and this is interdepartmental. So before they have taken a pre-test questionnaire, pre-test to measure their knowledge about that topic. Then participant instructed how to use VR and AR applications. Then they have given, this is a mobile-based learning. So they have a mobile and they asked to download one app where from that app, they need to learn about one topic for 5 minutes. So there was some visual information also there. There's some audio information was also there. Then they have given a questionnaire, post-test questionnaire about some psychological. The questionnaire was a mix of some psychological cognitive feelings. And there are numbers of set of questions are there. Now, you may heard about statistics. So there are some statistical tool has been used to measure some mediated environment was measured with. So these are some scales, alpha 0.93. So there are one scale was there. Now you can ask, sir, what is this? Basically, these scales are If alpha is 0.93, to assess the level of attention allocated to mediated environment, means I was dedicated myself completely to the game. If it is alpha 0.93. If alpha is 0.90, so their spatial means how they are in that environment or in immersive virtual technologies. Spatial presence, their spatial presence was measured with the revised scale. So how much did virtual world seems like real world? So you may ask why 0.93, why not 0.4? So this is based on number of calculations with the help of manufacturer, and then tools has been used. A statistical analytical tool has been used. And alpha is 9.91. Enjoyment also measured. So whether this information is enjoyable. So there are three things. I dedicated myself completely into the game. Second, how much virtual world like the real world about special business. And third is whether this information is enjoyable or not. So that these are the measures. So first what we did, there are three hypotheses. So I just hold some time. I don't know. I will just see the chat box whether if anybody has got any. So no question there. So there was some t-tests were being performed for outcome variable. So just see this. As I told you, statistical analytical tool has been used. So there was mean was taken, standard deviation was taken. So I will not go into these details because I will just give you the one statement. These are the statistical tool t-test. So as I told you, this is the number of participant. Now if you see, these are mean, this is standard deviation for virtual reality. This is mean and standard deviation for augmented reality. And third is t-test. So the t and p values is there. Now what are the variables? Attention, presence, enjoyment. And we have, as we know, we have taken the pre-test knowledge, we have taken a auditory post-test and visual post-test. So attention, presence, enjoyment, pre-test knowledge, post-test knowledge, audio and visual both. Now, if you see, virtual reality gives mean 6.1 and augmented reality mean 5.7. Presence in virtual reality, so it is higher. It is higher than this. It is also higher than this. Means in augmented reality, enjoyment was lower. Science knowledge. These are the same science knowledge because this is the this is the same science knowledge. This is equal. Means before pre-test. Now auditory knowledge. Just see this auditory knowledge. This is 6.51 and this is a 7.71. So augmented reality gives higher audio knowledge than virtual reality. Visual knowledge again higher than augmented reality. So if you see, if you talk about pre-test, so pre-test का यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है, so that was the same. So Basically, t-test was performed, their mean standard deviation for virtual reality and augmented reality. You have a data, and these 6 variables has been taken care. Attention, presence. So this data we have received from participant. Now participant has given a data and then we calculated mean and standard deviation for virtual reality, augmented reality, and there are t-test as well as their p-value has been also taken. Now let us try to understand their results in terms of hypothesis. So we had 3 hypotheses. So hypothesis 1 was completely supporting findings. So VR conditions paid more attention to the immediate environment, those in AR. So VR paid more attention. VR reported higher level of spatial presence compared to AR. So more attention, more spatial presence, and participant in VR conditions reported greater level of enjoyment. So attention, spatial presence, and enjoyment. So that was the first hypothesis that has been supported. The second hypothesis, VR conditions scored higher on visual information retention. So visual information retention was higher compared to AR. But as we just saw in the median, so AR condition had higher score on auditory information retention. So whatever audio has been received by participant, so in AR, they have a higher score if you talk about auditory information. Now, this is the third one. Being in VR and AR conditions, which is influenced by spatial presence differently. So here, X3 was partially supported. So in VR and AR conditions, feelings of spatial presence differently, and their science learning outcome also was differently. So participant from VR conditions reported higher level of spatial presence, but as we know, it's lower scores on auditory. And third was impact of VR and participant score on visual in retention was not mediated by spatial presence. Not mediated means whatever spatial presence was they have seen. So they not participant not able to have information retention about the spatial presence if you talk about visual presence. So let us discuss these 3. So H1 was completely supported, H2 was completely supported, and H3 was also completely supported. So if you are faculty of mechanical, civil, computer science, electronics, if you have any kind of data, so ultimately that data has to be processed. So statistical, that is called data analytics. So we are talking about analytics. We are analyzing the data. So these data has been analyzed by 109. We take this data from 109 participants, and this data has been analyzed by using different tools. A statistical tool. So their median, their mode, their t-test, their p-value has been taken care. Now, discussion is impact of AR and VR. So in this 1 week online FDP, you are trying to impart AR and VR. You will be learning this AR and VR for education. Today, I have seen the various AR and VR applications and as well as this case study, where ultimately your objective is knowledge retention. So here in this case study, the knowledge retention has been studied for mobile phone platform. So you can also perform one study on computers or laptop. So you can see the VR conditions resulted more psychological and cognitive responses to the media compared to AR. So VR conditions give and retain more knowledge that was presented visually. As we have seen just now, that is was the first thing. VR condition more gives VR condition has given more visual attention but less audio. AR condition had weaker cognitive and psychology. So this is one case study. We cannot conclude everything on this case study. So you can have more case study on different knowledge, or you may increase participant. You may differentiate the university. So what is actually happening here? AR condition had weaker cognitive. So their attention, the presence, enjoyment has weaker cognitive and psychological response. So I'm just concluding this case study where education important application for design. So education content should have a not only visual, or if you talk about integration with visual modeling, if you talk about VR, so it should be VR should have a more visual modularity. But if you talk about AR, so we should use auditory modularity when using a AR, because AR give more enhanced knowledge retention when using an auditory modularity, and for VR it gives more visual modularity. So we should explore in this course to design different VR experiences, which may be best for visually into the environment, or AR experience, which may be a good for auditory information. And this is one of the case studies. Researchers should continue to explore the psychological and cognitive differences between these two modality. The future scope is actually their spatial presence learning outcome with these two media will continue to, people will continue to do research in this. So ultimately, application wise, you cannot write paper, but there you can write paper with various knowledge. This is one kind of paper which was published. You can actually have more paper where you can talk about their spatial presence, their refresh rate, their enhanced knowledge retention. So ultimately, their limitation was, so future research, if you talk about future research, it should involve secondary reaction also. Their reliably confirm influences. People should further examine cognitive and load when two technology, their feeling and presence as well as learning outcome also should be there. Their efficacy of VR and AR application impact also has to be investigated. Consistency of audio and video information, type of audio output, It may be headphone or a speaker. So we need to understand their optimized learning outcome. So you can actually use this kind of future research application as well. So question is, now I am asking a question in front of you. Children now has children are more likely to observe information from books rather than screens. Is it true? So you say there have people are using a more screen, but so this is a contradictory to AR and VR applications. So book has got an ebook also, but I am talking about textbooks, those simple paper books. So we just understood what is VR and how it is different from different media. So this question we asked. And what is the topmost challenges of VR in education is learning outcome, their knowledge retention, as well as exploratory usage. So we understood what are the features of virtual, augmented reality and virtual reality, their refresh rate, their cost, and number of things which we discuss, how you can actually overcome these challenges. There you have their affordness of AR and VR different. You need to see that also while designing an application for your usage. So anybody has got any comment or any question on this, let me know. So I will be sharing the link. We have the link to the study. Yeah, it is available. I will. So your organizer will share. I will share with organizer. So you can share this. That way.
If any of the if any of the participants are having any questions, feel free to ask.
So still, my future will be talking about pairing AI of computers with cognitive, social, and emotional capability. So let me conclude that. Then then participate. So you may cognitive, social, or emotional capability. So that educate first class human, not second class robot. So you need not your student should be a second class. You should be first class human. So they're cognitive, social, and emotional. So today in case study, I have taken the cognitive. So I asked about social and emotional also has to be taken care. So AI, where you can use AI and VI tools, AR or VR tools. Now my question to all of you, how you will identify student who is not performing in virtual class, how to identify. So these are the references. That one of the case study was referenced from IIT Bombay. So, and there are a number of references are there. There are a number of references. So I have taken another reference from MHRD Digital Initiative in Higher Education. So they have got one additional resource. And now you may ask any question pertaining to today's lecture. So what actually we have taken in this last 1.5 hours is understood about classroom integration. We talked about AR and VR. And we discussed about one case study where their some participant knowledge retention was judged by, and then data has been analysis by some of the tools, very important tool. Now forum open to all. So I hope ki everybody has got a view, or anybody has got any view, any question in that. So So I don't think so. Now, if you talk about classroom integration, so everybody is actually now going with various kind of tools. So the question in front of all of us is how to have immersive experience with all the learners, and that an immersive experience can be enhanced through AR tool and VR tool, and you are using a number of AR and VR tool in your daily day-to-day life. As I told you about, Google Lens is one of the tool which you are using. Snapchat, you people are using. Pokemon Go, you are using. So there are a number of tools which are using in your day-to-day life. As I have seen uh, in this course program schedule. So yesterday I've been given the, I think, Unity 3D, and you will be developing a number of apps. There are a number of applications you will have a different hands-on on AR and VR, and ultimately you need to develop these AR and VR for your own courses. So that has to be key or take away from this online FDP, so that you can actually take all of these for your application. So thank you all, Ms. Deepa. If you have got anything, so
Sir, here is one question from.
let me know 1 second. Should every university conduct their own study for application, since the environment setting of different? Yeah. So, or even you may, yes, obviously AR and VR, there are no feedback. The universities are taking a traditional feedback, so they should actually take now. Avik, as I saw, this is your name, so you can actually use this kind of, you can suggest this kind of tool to take feedback, and this feedback can be taken so that you can say the more enhanced or immersive experience or learning engagement can be actually gauged. Obviously, now once you are using a different advanced tool, so for sake of why you are using any kind of tool, why, what is the purpose? Purpose is engagement of students. So as I told you that your course content, engagement and assessment, there are three particular things. Now, apart from these things, their knowledge retention and their outcome is also, whatever outcome they are giving, we need to enhance their outcome as well. We need to know what was the lacking while delivering lecture online or taking any kind of topic through in this mode. How you can enhance that, which you was which you was not experienced in this. So this is evolving, and you people which are attending this, you can actually give some kind of application for your course. So I will request all of you to use this MOOC model for your course. Try to develop this MOOC model for your course and try to use more immersive engaging experience from learners' point of view. So I thank Deepa and organizer of this online 5 days FDP for giving me opportunity in front of more than 100 participants, and I think everybody has taken something, and thank you all.
Sir, we are honored and Sir, we are honored and privileged to have such a distinguished personality like you, for having rich industry experience, R&D experience, to be speaker of this faculty development program. Thank you, sir. It was a very informative and interesting session. Thanks a lot for gracing this occasion and being a speaker for this faculty development program. Thank you, sir. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
My credentials are here. If anybody has got any questions or any kind of interaction for AR and VR, so my credentials are here. I will just share my front screen. So this is these are my coordinates. I am associate professor, associate dean as well as coordinator investigation. So more than 150 organizations with me. This is my email ID. This is cell number. Anybody want to interact, please feel to interact. This is not only an interaction which we are having. So we are all in all the same fraternity of education. So I will be happy to have a more interaction with all of you. So thank you all.
Thanks, sir. Sir is working on some robotics project as well. If anyone is interested, I mean, you can
Yes,
contact sir. Yeah.
sure. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you. And I request all the participants to give the feedback and attendance. The attendance and feedback link has been shared in the chat box. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.